Hey, what's going on, guys? Chris Smythe here at FittedToFish, bringing you another episode on our FittedToFish YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about something that's real easy to get into, real fun, and kind of near and dear to my heart, and that's bass on fly. A few things I'd like to talk about is, one, what kind of equipment to use, what kind of setups are good for catching bass, some of the flies, and even some of the techniques. So first off, let's talk about the equipment. So your fly rod, generally I would say range anywhere between a 5 weight to an 8 weight. A 5 weight will be fun if you're catching a lot of smaller fish. It might be a little bit of a challenge on some of the bigger bass if you're trying to target specifically big fish. Then I would probably step up to a 7 or an 8 weight. Something we have here at the shop, this is the NXT series from Temple Fork. It's a great combo to get into it, to get on the water. It comes with your rod, your reel, your fly line, your backing, leader, everything, and it's just around 200 bucks. So it's an awesome option to get out there and catch some bass. The cool thing about bass fishing is, you know, if you already fly fish for salt, your saltwater species, you can use the same equipment you can for bass. There's nothing specific. I mean, you're going to a freshwater environment. The reels that are designed for saltwater, they're going to hold up exceptionally well in freshwater as well. So if you already have it, by all means, get out there and use it. Some of the flies, I'm going to break it down into kind of a few different categories of flies. The first one, and probably the most common and probably the most exciting, is a topwater, either a popper or a topwater type fly. This is an example of just an imitation of a frog popper. Super simple to tie, creates a lot of noise. A topwater bite is extremely fun because you see the fish strike. It's usually kind of chaotic for a minute, and it's really exciting. This is more of your traditional style popper, like a bug style. These work great, and these still catch very large fish. Personally, I like to use a bigger profile, even fly fishing, just to try to narrow out some of those bigger fish. Going along with the topwater, these are called, this would be more of like a wake bait. This is like a Dahlberg diver type frog. This isn't really going to give you as much of a pop. It's going to stay on top of the water. It's going to just create a wake and push that water, which can be real deadly. If the popper bite is just a little too much, you can go to something like a wake bait, like this frog style gurgler here. That might be a very good option. Another one is any type of bait fish. If the bass are keying in on bluegill and brim, you know, EP minnows like this black and purple for a bluegill is a great imitation. Really anything that resembles a small bait fish or a brim would be a good option, like these EP minnows here. And we've tied these just to kind of vary the prey. If they're keying in on red breasts or something like that, you can put a little orange or red in there, and even black. This is a streamer we have here at the shop. It's got a little bit of a weight on the belly to kind of keel it out. So if you want something that's going to get down a little bit, you could add a little weight to it. Next, I would consider something towards the bottom of the water column. This is a worm style bait. It's got a tungsten head on it that's going to get that worm down. You can fish that like you would on a regular conventional spinning or bait casting reel. And the same thing, this is a chenille type worm, which is very effective on bass. This doesn't have weight. This will kind of suspend, so like if you're used to fishing like a Cinco or anything like that on your conventional side, that's something that's going to be real productive for you. And then you can go all the way towards the bottom. You know, we have flies like this crawfish imitation. We have flies that's going to get that bait down if you want to dredge the bottom. It's a little bit harder of a bite to pick up on. It's not as exciting as, you know, your topwater, but it's a very effective way, especially midday, hot times. The key thing about bass at this time of the year, we're getting the late part of the summer. We're at the end of July, I guess midsummer. It's hot, the water's hot. The bass are going to be either shallow and heavy cover in the most shaded areas they can find, or they're going to be pushed off a little deeper. but you'll still have those fish that are going to stay shallow throughout the summer. The key to it is finding shade, finding a little bit cooler water. If you can find running water, those fish are going to key into those spots. Here in Central Florida, we have a great bass fishery. If you want to target them on fly, it's an awesome opportunity. It kind of mixes up what they see, because these bass get fished hard down here. Mixes up what they see on a daily basis, and you'll probably be successful. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions, please come into the shop, and we can definitely hook you up, get you fitted to fish for your next bass outing. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, and stay tuned for our next video. Thank you.